Hello and welcome to Global News Express. Now, the headlines: Shettima canvasses strong family ties for national unity. Federal government urged to enforce health insurance compliance. And business this could generate 3.95 trillion naira in 5 years. At the first scene, Telegram CEO Pavel arrested at the French airport. And the sports, tribute war for late headline coach Obi. Many thanks for joining us on News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Edikan Michael. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nikomsat. And our Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated the significance of marital and family values in nation building, calling on parents and couples to exercise patience and love in their families, which will reflect on the larger Nigerian society. Shettima, who was a special guest at the wedding of Kezia Kevas, daughter of Taraba State Governor Dr. Abu Kevas in Jalingo, also reflected on the bittersweet nature of parenthood. The Vice President emphasized key elements for a successful union, stating that some of the most essential qualities in marriage are communication, patience, tolerance, perseverance, and love. And our Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who will lead his colleagues from the Southwest and prominent Yoruba leaders and other relevant stakeholders at the Yoruba National Day lecture scheduled to take place on Monday at the Professor Wole Soyinka Lecture Theatre, University of Ibadan. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who also serves as the chairman of the occasion, will deliver a lecture entitled National Unity and Agitation for Self-Determination, the Way Forward for Nigeria. Away from that, the Action People's Party has called on the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara to seek re-election under its platform in 2027, even as they say the governor neither owns the party nor is a member of the fold. The State APP Chairman Sonny Nwokoro said that these when the immediate past leadership of the party in the state, led by Kenneth Otata, paid him a solidarity visit at the party's secretariat in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Nwokoro said the party will make a statement with the October 5th local government elections in the state, saying it's determined to change the narrative in the state. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NAMET) has forecast a series of thundery and rainy events across the country from Sunday through Tuesday. In its weather outlook release, NAMET predicts thunderstorms in the northern state of Borno, Jigawa, Taraba, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Gombe during the morning hours on Sunday. The agency says it further anticipates that thunderstorms will extend to most parts of the northern region in the afternoon and evening hours. And our Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, has donated 20 million naira to the Jigawa government to support the relief effort of the state for residents affected by the recent flood disaster. The Director of Information and Public Relations, Ministry of Defense, Ensure Ogobike, stated that Badaru made the donation when he visited the Jigawa governor to commiserate with him on the flood which ravaged the state and resulted in loss of lives and properties. About the judiciary, the Chief Judge of Ondo State, Justice Olosola Aduezola, has set up an investigative panel to look into the circumstances surrounding the judgments delivered by the Chief Magistrate Tope Adel Jana of the State Chief Magistrate Court sitting in Ile-Oji local government area, as the court sentenced a man to 3 years imprisonment for stealing. The statement signed by the Chief Registrar of the State Judiciary, Yetunde Ajakalu, said the judiciary is disturbed about the judgment and the uproar it has generated on social media within and outside the state. Moving forward, the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Ultimate Health, Lekan Ewola, has called on the federal government to enforce stricter compliance with the National Health Insurance Law to increase the enrollment of Nigerians in the scheme. Ewola argued that without a more robust enforcement strategy of the law to bring on board more Nigerians in the informal sector, the goal of universal health coverage may remain unattainable. He emphasized the need for government to play a more active role in ensuring that both employers and individuals comply with existing health insurance policies. Along a Vietnam-bound businessman, Ibanesi Nozike has executed 68 grams of cocaine after he was arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The NDLA had on August 12 arrested a Vietnam-bound businessman, Paul Maduga, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport after he tested positive for ingesting cocaine. Maduga has created a total of 88 grams of cocaine, weighing 1.710 kilograms. In a statement released on Sunday, the NDLA spokesperson Femi Babafemi said Azikiwe was arrested while attempting to board the first flight out of Lagos to Abuja. And now the State Security Service (SSS) has given the reason for arresting a Nigerian journalist Adejuwon Soyinka earlier on Sunday. It was reported that SSS operatives arrested Soyinka, who is a West African regional editor of the Conversation Africa at the Murtala International Airport in Lagos at about 5:40 a.m. Sunday, shortly after he arrived in Nigeria via a Virgin Atlantic flight from the United Kingdom. SSS spokesperson Peter Ifunanya has said in an update that SSS intercepted the journalist based on requests from another government agency, but he did not provide the identity of the agency on whose behalf he said the arrest was carried out. Around the Niger state government has called on the Nigerian army to deploy its troops to communities in the state presently under the siege of bandits. The state acting governor Yakubu Gaba made the call during a chat with newsmen during the feeder's prayer for 13 farmers killed by bandits in the Shira local government. The call followed a series of attacks in several local governments in the state where the residents were either killed or abducted. In some cases, shops were razed after looting. Emir of Ningi in Bauchi State, Dr. Yunusa Naya, has died at the age of 88. The monarch, who is said to have returned from the medical trip to Saudi Arabia on August 22nd, died in the early hours of today at a hospital in Kano State, confirming Danya's demise in a statement issued by his media assistant. The Governor Bala Mohammed extended his condolences to the late Emir's family and the Emirate Council over the monarch's death. The governor described the late monarch as a man of peace, wisdom, and immense dedication to the welfare of the people of Ningi Emirate and Nigerians at large. Miyetti Kaitu Breeders Association of Nigeria has condemned the abduction, torture, and brutal killing of Alhaji Issa, the sacking of Gatawa local government in Sokoto State. The National Secretary, Malam Bello, made the commendation in a statement in Abuja. Ali Gatama said the killing of the traditional ruler was not only traumatic, but it symbolized the barbarity of the perpetrators. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When the News Express returns, Telegram CEO Pavel Durov arrested at the French airport. Details of these and many other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Still watching News Express here on Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us. And on to business. Nigeria is seeking the World Bank's approval to restructure a $650 million loan allocated to the Nigeria Improved Child Survival Program for Human Capital. The restructuring paper says the request follows a mid-term review of the project, which highlighted the need for strategic adjustment to better align with the government's evolving approach to health sector reform, particularly in child and maternal health. And now, former Nigerian ambassador says the new upward review of the fees for Nigerian passport will not reduce the Japa syndrome, but rather worsen the hardship afflicting the people. The Nigerian Immigration Service recently announced that a 100% price increment for the passport will begin on September 1st, 2024, and to ensure the quality and integrity of the Nigerian standard passport system. The service said that a 32-page passport booklet with 5-year validity previously charged at 35,000 naira has increased to 50,000 naira, while a 64-page passport booklet with 10-year validity, which was 70,000 naira, will be 100,000 naira. Nigeria's electricity distribution companies collectively raked in about 3.95 trillion naira revenue between 2019 and the first quarter of 2024. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics show that revealed an upward trajectory on revenue generation over the past 5 years as the power distributors made 482.6 billion naira in 2019. The 526.8 billion naira in 2020 and 761.2 billion naira in 2021, while 828.1 billion naira in 2022 and a total of 1.07 billion naira in 2023. The experts attribute this consistent growth in the revenue to several factors, including the ongoing tariff adjustment moving towards a cost-reflective pricing, which has allowed the discos to align revenue with the cost of providing electricity. The federal government has been asked to sell the government-owned Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries to fund the modular ones. All three refineries are under the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, and the federal government oil firm. The Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria made the call for the sale of the refineries in an interview, saying that it is the only way out of the incessant fuel crisis in the country. And on the foreign scene, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has announced a 48-hour nationwide state of emergency after the Israeli military launched what it called the preemptive strikes in Lebanon. A statement from the Gallant office says the declaration of the state of emergency enables the Israeli Defense Force to issue instructions to citizens of Israel, including limiting gatherings and closing sites where it may be relevant. Meanwhile, Lebanon's health ministry says one person was killed in an Israeli strike on the vehicle in the country's south after Israel launched what it called the preemptive strikes against the Hezbollah. The Amal movement later announced the fighter from the camp had been killed. The ministry also reported that 2 people, including a Syrian man, were wounded in a series of Israeli raids in the south. Chief Executive Telegram Messenger, commonly known as Telegram, a cloud-based cross-platform instant messaging service, Pavel Durov, has been arrested by the French police at an airport north of Paris. Durov was detained after his private jet had landed at Le Bourget airport. Officials say that the 39-year-old billionaire was arrested under a warrant for offenses related to the popular messaging app. The investigation is reportedly about the lack of moderators, with the accused of failing to take steps to curb criminal uses of Telegram. And on the sports, Nigeria football stakeholders continue to pay tribute to Christian Obi, the former headland head coach who lost his life in a car accident involving the team on Friday. The former Nigerian Youth International goalkeeper didn't survive the accident that occurred in Okigwe while the next millionaire were traveling to Abakaliki to participate in a pre-season tournament, with several players sustaining varying degrees of injuries. The incident has left the Nigerian football fraternity mourning, with the Nigeria Premier Football League, the board and the clubs paying tribute to the fallen stars who kept goal for Nigeria at the 1985 FIFA World Championship in Russia and 1988 Olympic Games in the South Korea. Our former Bayern Munich player and the legend Lothar Hazard slammed former coach Thomas for his leadership style at the clubs. Martha was held that Tuchel's attributes and attitude, lack of belief in his player abilities were among the factors responsible for his short stay at the club. He added that such a situation was not good for German giants, saying there was a big problem because it did not give the players confidence, unquote. He lost a lot of players who were very important for Bayern Munich. As we wrap up the Global News Express, let's take a look at the top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima has conveyed strong family ties for national unity. The federal government has urged to enforce health insurance compliance. On the foreign scene, Telegram CEO Pavel has been arrested at the French airport. Finally, in sports, tributes have been pouring for late Heartland coach Obi. And that's it on News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital Abuja. We're on DSTV channel 365, start times 276, and free-to-air Mecomsat and its parameters shown on the screen. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NGA and other handles now shown on the screen. I'm Medica Mike. Thanks for watching and stay with us on News Express. See you again.